She danced under neon lights, smiled for photos, smoked a final cigarette on the balcony, and then she vanished. No body, no suspects, just a trail of sightings, silence, and a family still searching. This isn't just a missing person case. It's one of the most chilling, unsolved disappearances in modern history, and it happened on a luxury cruise ship. If you think you know the story of Amy Bradley, think again. Hit subscribe, tap the bell, and stay with us as we uncover what really happened beneath the narrative. It was supposed to be a celebration, a tropical escape, a moment of joy before life's next chapter began. For Amy Lynn Bradley, a 23-year-old recent college graduate from Virginia, the Caribbean cruise aboard Rhapsody of the Seas was a family gift, a reward for years of hard work and a chance to unwind before starting a new job. But by the morning of March 24, 1998, that dream had turned into a nightmare. Amy was gone, vanished without a trace from a cruise ship sailing between Aruba and Curacao. And in the decades since, her disappearance has become one of the most chilling and confounding mysteries in modern history. Amy Bradley wasn't the kind of person who blended into the background. She was athletic, outgoing, and fiercely independent. A former college basketball player with a strong personality and a quick wit, Amy had a magnetic energy that drew people in. She loved animals, had a close-knit group of friends, and was deeply bonded with her family, especially her younger brother, Brad. She had just graduated from Longwood University and was preparing to start a new job at a computer consulting firm. But before diving into the working world, her parents, Ron and Iva Bradley, decided to take the family on a Caribbean cruise, a chance to relax and celebrate together. They boarded the Rhapsody of the Seas in Puerto Rico on March 21, 1998. The ship was massive, luxurious, and filled with vacationers soaking in the sun and sea. Amy, Brad, and their parents settled into their cabin and began enjoying the trip. Amy was excited but cautious. She didn't like the idea of being on a ship and had expressed discomfort about the crew's behavior toward her. Still, she tried to enjoy herself. She danced at the ship's nightclub, hung out with her brother, and took photos with the family. But something about the atmosphere unsettled her. She told Brad that some of the crew members were creeping her out. She didn't feel safe. On the night of March 23rd, Amy and Brad went to the ship's nightclub, where a live band called Blue Orchid was playing. Amy danced with several people, including members of the band and crew. She was seen laughing, moving confidently across the floor, and enjoying the music. At around 1 a.m., Amy and Brad returned to their cabin. Brad went to sleep, and Amy stayed up for a while, sitting on the balcony and smoking a cigarette. At approximately 5:30 a.m., Ron Bradley woke up and saw Amy still on the balcony. He went back to sleep. By 6 a.m., she was gone. Her shoes were still in the cabin. The door to the balcony was slightly ajar, but Amy had vanished. The Bradleys immediately alerted the ship's crew. They begged the captain to make an announcement and prevent passengers from disembarking when the ship docked in Curacao. But the crew refused. They insisted that Amy had likely gone ashore voluntarily and would return. By the time the ship was searched, hours later, it was too late. Hundreds of passengers had already left the vessel. The delay in response would become one of the most criticized aspects of the case. The Bradleys knew something was wrong. Amy wasn't the type to wander off without telling anyone. She had no reason to leave the ship alone, and she had expressed discomfort about the crew's behavior. The family feared the worst. Over the years, multiple theories have emerged about what happened to Amy Bradley. Some believe she fell overboard. Others suspect suicide. But the most persistent and chilling theory is that Amy was abducted and sold into human trafficking. Several sightings have fueled this belief. In 1998, tourists in Curacao reported seeing a woman matching Amy's description on a beach. She appeared disoriented and was accompanied by men who seemed controlling. In 1999, a U.S. Navy sailor claimed he saw Amy in a brothel in Curacao. The woman told him her name was Amy and begged for help before being taken away. In 2005, a witness in Barbados reported seeing a woman who resembled Amy in a department store. She was with two men and appeared frightened. That same year, the Bradley family received an email with photos of a woman resembling Amy in sexually explicit poses. The images were traced to a website known for trafficking victims. Despite these sightings, no definitive proof has ever surfaced. The FBI continues to list Amy as missing. The case remains open. Ron and Iva Bradley have never stopped searching for their daughter. They've appeared on national television, worked with private investigators, and followed every lead, no matter how faint. They've criticized Royal Caribbean for its handling of the case, arguing that the delay in searching the ship and notifying authorities may have cost them their daughter. They've also pushed for changes in cruise ship protocols, including the creation of an Amy alert system to trigger immediate lockdowns when a passenger goes missing. Brad Bradley, Amy's brother, has been vocal about the emotional toll the case has taken. He's defended his sister against online speculation and misinformation, including rumors about her mental health and sexuality. For the Bradleys, the pain is compounded by the lack of closure, the not knowing. In July 2025, Netflix released a docuseries titled Amy Bradley is Missing. The series reignited public interest in the case, introducing a new generation to the mystery and horror of Amy's disappearance. The show featured interviews with the Bradley family, former investigators, and cruise ship experts. It also revealed new footage of Amy dancing in the nightclub hours before she vanished, footage that had never been publicly released. The series sparked online debates, Reddit threads, and TikTok theories. A Change.org petition calling for cruise ship safety reforms gained over 500,000 signatures. And once again, the question echoed across the internet. What happened to Amy Bradley? Despite decades of investigation, the Amy Bradley case remains unsolved. There are no suspects, no confirmed sightings, no body, just a trail of clues, contradictions, and heartbreak. Why did the ship delay its response? Why was Amy so uncomfortable around the crew? Why were there sightings in trafficking hotspots? And why, after all these years, has no one come forward with definitive information? The answers remain elusive, but the story continues to haunt those who hear it. Amy Bradley's disappearance has changed the way people think about cruise ship safety. It sparked conversations about human trafficking, corporate accountability, and the rights of victims and families. Her story is a reminder that even in paradise, danger can lurk. That even in the most controlled environments, people can vanish. And that justice delayed is justice denied. For the Bradley family, the hope remains. They believe Amy is still out there, somewhere. And they continue to fight for answers, for change, and for the daughter they lost, but never forgot. Amy Bradley's story isn't just a mystery. It's a tragedy, a warning, a call to action. It's a tale of a vibrant young woman who vanished in plain sight, of a family shattered but unbroken, of a system that failed, and a world that watched. And it's a story that demands to be told, not just for Amy, but for every person who's disappeared without a trace, for every family left searching, for every truth buried beneath the narrative. Because sometimes the darkest stories are the ones that happen in daylight, and sometimes the most haunting mysteries are the ones that begin with a smile and end in silence.